guys, it's Lizzie. Today is Project for Awesome, which if you don't know what this is, where have you been? Clearly not on YouTube. This has been going on since 2007. It's an annual YouTube convention, but it's a virtual one, so everything is online. So you can attend if you're just now finding out about it. Everyone makes a video about their favorite charity, explaining what it is, all about how to get involved. The entire thing is like a giant fundraising event, but then it's also like a game because it's a competition. The charity with the most votes wins a ton of money, so go to projectforawesome.com and vote for my video. Everything I just talked about that I'm going to talk about in the video is linked below, so after watching this or while you're watching this, click on all the links. It'll open 15, 22 tabs on your Google Chrome browser. The charity nonprofit I picked this year is called Uplift. It's relatively new. It was started in 2014. They are all about educating people about consent, sexual harassment, especially online, so YouTube, other social media, and basically any type of fandom online group. I think a lot of times we think of sexual harassment as a guy yelling outside his car window at a woman who's walking down the street. We think of that as separate from comments that are sent online. Uplift is taking both types of harassment and connecting them and helping everyone understand how to be more respectful and how to deal with it. I know so much about this because my sister is on the e-board. She's one of the 4 senior staff positions. Unless you watched my Draw My Life, you probably didn't even know I had a sister. She's in charge of planning and organizing a ton of the events, so I have all this insider information about Uplift. All of their secrets I'm gonna share with you. As a YouTuber, I experience a lot of sexual harassment through the comments. I made a video a week ago about sexual harassment, my experience with it. I talked about in person what it feels like when a guy is talking to me, touching me in a way that I don't want. But what I didn't go into depth on is my experience as a YouTuber and the disgusting, sexually explicit, violent comments I get from guys. I know anyone can write a comment about wanting to rape me or force me to do something to them sexually, but stuff like that is very scarring, and even if you just read it, I always just like delete, block, but you still read it, and that makes me feel very scared and powerless. So that's kind of like the background of why emotionally, like, I feel very grateful that an organization like Uplift exists. Hackathons. My sister was telling me about this and she's like, yeah, like I went to a hackathon and there were like a ton of people who came, and so when I'm listening to this, I'm just thinking, so you all like get in a room together and try to like hack into your own website to see if it's secure? If you're not familiar with hackathons, they do not refer to hacking in the
person furiously types binary in the computer, now you've broken into a building
sense of the word. My sister is a computer programmer. That's her career. She went to college for that. So she is in charge of heading up these hackathons. So my understanding of the hackathons is that they have this one idea, collaborative thing. It's kind of like a competition. So there's like different teams and everyone's like coding together, trying to create like the best code. I could be wrong. So far they've come up with 2 projects that will both be out in January. One is a sexual harassment simulator. It's called Smile For Me. And so it's almost like a video game where you can play the character of the person walking down the street. I think this would be really cool for not only men to play, but also women, because if you don't live in a big city in a very urban environment, you will not experience sexual harassment to the level that it is. Really excited for the Smile For Me thing to be published online because I think it'll be really, really, really interesting. The second one is this Google Chrome extension, and I am so excited about it. Like, once it's published online, I'm gonna install it into my browser like immediately. Stop Harassment is a Chrome extension that removes harassing words in tweets and swaps them out for funny or affirming phrases. And then the example they gave, it says, "You are wonderful." In situations like this, using humor to cover it up, it's like a psychological block. For me, if I saw something and it was just like blurred out, you can almost like in your mind automatically like replace it with what you think it was. But if it's some affirming word in like neon text, like psychologically protects you from being like emotionally stabbed. Basically, it's gonna be something that you install into your Google Chrome. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm sure there'll be a tutorial tutorial when they make it live. And if you're not using Google Chrome, what are you doing? I don't think I can trust you. And this filter will also work for racist, homophobic comments, like anything that is very damaging to people to read. It's going to be finished in January, so make sure to be checking their blog, follow them on Twitter so you can get that update. They started up their YouTube channel this year and they had this series called Engage by Uplift. They talk about some facets of sexual abuse that we're not talking about as much. They have a video on male victims of sexual abuse and they have this stat that 1 in 6 boys under the age of 18 will be a victim of sexual assault. Their YouTube videos are also focusing more on the LGBTQ community, people of color, any minority groups. They have some videos up right now on being queer, trans, and being a woman, how both of those factors together affect online harassment. We can't just deal with these issues independently, we need to bring them together. There's certain groups of people in society that have been traditionally, historically oppressed. That doesn't mean that white females or white men don't get bullied. It's just the intersectionality thing where there are more factors causing someone to be more vulnerable to that kind of abuse. So their YouTube channel is kind of hard to find because there's another YouTube channel called Uplift. Their channel is Uplift Online Communities Against Sexual Violence. I'm gonna link below though so that you don't have to type all of that out. So the third one is going to conventions of internet groups, and so VidCon is something they go to, which a lot of you have heard of, been to. They interact with a ton of people and just present a consent culture in a way that is really chill and easy to understand. I've never been sexually assaulted, but I feel so powerless and almost like emotionally frozen when I think about issues like this. Earlier this year, I read the testimony of the girl who was raped in the Stanford case, and I cried so much reading it. When we hear these really traumatic stories of women, men being raped, it's something that's very difficult to talk about. Uplift is solving the problem and they're not dealing with these issues as blaming people. They just take like these huge, intense, scary issues and they break it down into something that is so tangible that even a child can understand it. Chill conversations so that everyone is on the same page in understanding all these facets of what consent means physically and emotionally. I made a video last week about sexual harassment, sexual assault, and some of the things I shared in it are things I've learned from my sister. One thing I talked about in that video is that consent has to do with any time you're touching anyone, even your friend, your sister, your cat. Like, it should always be from this attitude of not assuming that someone wants to make physical contact with you. And this is like a big thing that Uplift focuses on at these conventions, just teaching people to think about consent on an everyday basis. Not about blaming everyone, blaming one group of people, but empowering everyone. This attitude that like every single person makes up our culture. So if we have rape culture, like everyone needs to be hyper aware of their mindsets, thoughts, how they're treating, thinking of other people. So 3 ways to support Uplift. They are on Amazon Smile. I am obsessed with Amazon. I have Amazon Prime. I buy everything on Amazon. You go to smile.amazon.com. You can pick a different charity for your Amazon account, and every time you make a purchase, as long as you go to smile.amazon.com, a portion of your purchase will go to Uplift. So that's a really easy way to donate to them without even having to donate. Also, you can become a part of the Uplift team. They have a ton of open positions right now. Everything from video editing, graphic design, social media, blogging, just like so many different things. So they have a ton of open positions on their website. None of them are paid. No one working for Uplift is paid. It's all volunteer based. And so to me, the most unique thing about Uplift is that it's completely online. Even the 4 senior staff people, they all live in different states. So if you want to get involved and become part of the Uplift team and sort of do like an internship type position with them, you can join from like anywhere in the country, anywhere in the world. You can be part of Uplift. Uplift is like in its fetus stage. They just started, but in the future they really want to expand and have different chapters of Uplift at a college campus, a high school, a workplace. Right now Uplift is only working with computer codes, not for like iPhone, Android, just because my sister is in charge of all this and she doesn't know iOS. iOS is like the app coding. So if you know how to do that and want to work with Uplift, then go apply on their website. Go to projectforawesome.com, vote for my video, look for all the other Uplift videos, vote for them. Besides donating to Project for Awesome as a whole, you can also individually donate to Uplift. Head over to the Project for Awesome website today, search for Uplift, and vote for all Uplift videos. Okay, so recap, 4 ways to connect with Uplift: their YouTube channel, their hackathons, filling out an application to work with Uplift and become a part of their team, going to smile.amazon.com, choosing Uplift and buying a ton of things on Amazon, and right now go to projectforawesome.com, vote for my video, look up all the other videos for Uplift, vote for them, donate to the Project for Awesome thing, click on all the links below. You can be like me when I'm in like the middle of researching, working on something, I'll have like 35 tabs open in one Google Chrome window. That is everything for this video. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in a few days in my next video. Bye!